Welcome to Arcade Audio.
Ladies and germs, welcome to Diettante. I'm Johnny.
I'm Spencer.
Here on Diettante, we go on quick Wikipedia.
Oh no, we click here in an article.
We talk about it.
Yeah, we do. There goes the streak, baby.
Well,
we got mess up.
We got through 200.
Okay, we got through 200.
That's a lie.
Oh, it is a lie. You got
That was
us.
one lie. Now I'll tell you two truths. The Beatles did the same thing with their last album, and
we're doing it right now with episode 201.
Yeah, this is episode 201, recorded before episode 200.
So who knows what kind of hijinks and stuff we'll get up to?
We're gonna actually live stream from the roof.
Yeah, it'll be our final performance. Yeah.
The Beatles. So their last album
Abbey Road
to be released.
Okay.
Was Let It Be. The last album they finished recording was Abbey Road.
Got it. So they fudged it because
I don't know why. I probably took. I don't know. But
Weird.
they did. Which is a bummer because how cool would it have been for the last song on their last album to be
the end?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I was assumed
Fucked
it
it
was. Yeah, they really did.
Except for Her Majesty.
Yeah. Well, the end was their last single or their last
Titled track.
No, what is it? Their last number one hit.
The End was a hit?
I believe so. At least it was on the Beatles' one album.
That song is...
Or am I thinking of the long one? No, hold on. Thanks, Ringo. This sucks. I hate this. What you're doing right now is what I hate.
And in the end, the love you take is equal to the love you make.
It's beautiful.
Hit single.
I was thinking of The Winding Road, The Long and Winding Road.
That makes sense. That makes a lot more sense.
Glad I messed it up in the first place to get that little riff.
It's all You're welcome.
It was worth it.
That's quality radio. What if we don't record 200 and then
we just let this drift into
this is just it. Yeah.
We just do like a 45-minute episode 201.
Yeah, we record in 21 minutes.
Yeah.
It's wild.
It's
what a world.
Crazy.
Do you have anything? If you don't, that's fine.
I mean, if I have anything, wouldn't I be saving it for episode 200?
I didn't.
Oh, okay. Well, then no, I've got nothing.
Cool. Let's just.
We got nothing coming up, right? There's nothing coming up. There's nothing going on. I mean, what do we got?
Yugoslav submarine Mališan.
Yep. Yes, please.
Pennant number P901 was a CB class midget submarine. Come on, guys. In service with the Yugoslav Navy, the Serbo-Croatian Jugoslavenka Ratno.
Hold on.
Mornarica.
Did you forget how to read?
Oh, God.
The submarine made for people.
Mališan was laid down in 1943 as CB-20 for the Regina Marina. Come on, guys. Regia Marina. That's better.
Did I ever tell you my sister had a friend in high school? Her name was Shannon Bohannon.
No.
Shannon Bohannon. Like, she got made fun of all the time.
My mom went to school with someone named Matthias Mathiasen.
This is the most Nordic name I've ever heard in my life.
What are you, like...
Matthias Mathiasen?
Well, that's not your name. You're lying to me.
You're right. Yeah, Dale Jenkins.
Okay, here's your SAT. Following the Italian armistice in September 1943, the unfinished boat was captured by the Germans, who handed it to the Navy of the Italian Social Republic. The boat was captured by Yugoslav partisans in Pula in 1945 and commissioned in the JRM shortly after the war. The boat was decommissioned at some point in the 1950s after a brief service life. In 1959, it was handed down to the Technical Museum in Zagreb, where it has been on display ever since. Beginning in 2008, Mališan underwent restoration of its interior and exterior, which included returning its original Italian paint scheme and designation.
Its original Italian paint scheme? What did it look like? Just a big picture of the Pope.
Oh, yeah. Pope on one side. All the portholes are pizzas. We can't even see out of these.
Stay on theme. That's what a sad, tragic life, right? I don't remember the exact date it was commissioned, but it's basically commissioned like
43.
Okay, so 43, the war ended. So it sat around and then was decommissioned like 3 years later and just put in a museum.
Yeah.
That's so sad.
But it's probably pristine.
Yeah, it probably looks awesome.
You know, we have that U-boat in the Museum of Science and Industry. Have you ever been there?
No, I never have.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Too bad they have Nazi war propaganda.
It is. I don't super like to think about it because it's crazy that it's
Of
just
all
like,
the things.
oh, this is a U-boat that definitely killed Americans.
Yeah.
Definitely.
This thing sunk the Lusitania.
It's crazy. And it's just
there
hey, kids, like, but as you go up, they're like, okay, stop. We got to get a picture of you in front of the U-boat that killed at least thousands of Americans.
There's like little American flag stamps on the side for how many Americans it killed.
For real. It's crazy.
Of all the things, why do we get a U-boat? Why not just our submarine? Or are we still using all our submarines?
Probably.
These are ours. Don't touch them.
I mean, I'm sure it's some crazy sequence of events.
Right.
You know, but
like maybe we captured it or something.
Yeah.
Do they teach you about? Is it just a cool thing to go inside of?
I've never been inside because you have to pay extra, and I'm not about to give the Nazis my money.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
But
look,
also,
I voted for George W. Bush once. I'm not going to vote for him again with my wallet.
I don't know what that means. Outside,
you don't know about his dad?
The Nazi?
No,
what are you talking about?
At some point, the Bushes like legitimately funded the Nazis. Like it's something crazy.
Oh, like way back.
Yeah,
oh, okay. So not. I mean, yes.
In the same way that like Woolsworth, made their suits or whatever.
So in that way, and not in the way that Bush did 9/11.
Oh no, yeah, not in the real way that Bush, yeah.
Okay, so but outside there are like games where it's like
outside
you have a periscope and it's like
how many innocent civilians
find the Allied boats and fire your torpedoes.
No, it's not. Like for real?
I swear to God. It's fucking, and there are kids like, Dad, I want to like shoot the Allies.
Oh my
it's
God.
Crazy.
Why?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
Is there at least like an attendant there to be like, yeah,
don't have fun. Please don't have fun.
Don't have
You're
fun.
having too much. Please leave the U-boat. Exit the U-boat.
Right. Not explain.
You're sympathizing. No, there's no one. There's the person taking your picture at the front, and then
that's what it is.
There's a person dressed up like Hitler who high fives you on the way out.
Yeah, and he signs your dad's notebook that tells you how to get the fucking Holy Grail. Maybe that's the exhibit. Maybe the exhibit is ourselves. We're on display.
Whoa.
Hey, I'm having so much fun killing the good guys. Wait a minute.
Maybe it's like secretly funded by like maybe the Nazi government was like, in the 30s,
okay,
or 40s, they were like,
the 30s before we knew they were bad guys. Like there was like Americans who like were Nazi sympathizers in the 30s. Still are, yeah, but you know what I mean.
So in the 30s, they gave us a grant.
Okay,
and they're like,
the Nazis
here, have this exhibit about like our Nazi technology.
Okay, sure. Goebbels was like giving stuff away,
and we'll fund it. We give you enough money to fund it for 100 years.
Oh, sure.
And then
we're so stingy.
And then through like a series of events, like we got this U-boat, crazy. But it was like they were like
wink, nudge, nudge. Like
they planted it. They like purposely lost that U-boat.
Sure, evacuated all the men.
Yeah. And now it's just like latent Nazi propaganda.
Yeah, like a Manchurian candidate for Nazi propaganda.
Yes. Yeah.
One of these kids that's going through and sinking ships. He'll be he's like the
last starfighter.
I don't know what that means. No, who's that guy? The guy in Tibet that gets he's like the really hold on. He's not Buddha, but he's like the Buddha.
Dalai Lama?
Yeah, right.
Oh God.
So it's the Dalai Lama but Hitler.
You're so good at this.
Yeah, wait a minute.
You're here. He's arrived.
Come here. Because we all know how good Hitler was at sinking Allied U-boats or whatever.
That was his claim to fame. Or like, I mean, I know we've talked about Splendid China before, but that was like partially or completely funded by the Chinese government, but it was just like a theme park in Orlando, which...
Wait, so it was like like Little Red Book, like Mao style, or like recently?
No, it was. I mean, in the 90s,
okay,
probably 80s and 90s. I mean, I went there as a kid, but it was like just miniature
like China.
Yeah, it was like the Great Wall at 1/16th scale.
Sure,
H scale.
HO scale, like for trains.
Yeah.
Was it still pretty big, or I think that has to still be pretty big?
It was pretty big. I don't know that it was the whole wall, or like this is a quarter of the wall.
It's a quarter of the wall
and
at 1/16th scale. Yeah,
but they also had like the terracotta warriors and like cool. all crazy monuments. Yeah,
okay,
it was really cool. But it was like funded by the Chinese government.
Weird.
But don't know that there was anything necessarily like nefarious about it.
Sure, they were just like legitimately trying to spark tourism.
Yeah, here's stuff.
Right.
That's cool.
As if like the governor of Florida went to China and was like, hey, we need people
Here's
to come to
mini
Disney
Florida.
World.
So where's the mini Disney World?
Yeah.
And like
Wait, isn't there a Disney in China? No, it's in Japan, right?
There might be. I think that China might have like one that's
like a
licensed, not bootleg, but like it's they like bought the rights to do everything, but it's not.
I've seen pictures of like dudes walking around in, like Mickey Mouse costumes, but like on their smoke breaks, so they took their head off to smoke.
Mookie Mouse, like
Mookie Mouse, yeah.
And then like there was a Winn-Dixie, which is a grocery store chain from the South, like just outside the gates of Splendid China, and it was like, everything looked like pagodas and stuff
At the Winn-Dixie?
Yeah, and I would love to go back now and see if it just still looks like pagodas.
Because Splendid China isn't there
long
anymore.
Since closed. I was like, why does this Winn-Dixie have pagodas?
Right, there's like a Best Buy on one side and like
and
putt golf on the other.
Yeah.
Just a Winn-Dixie. Like, what are you doing? This culturally insensitive Winn-Dixie with no context.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't so bad at the time, but
right, it was like, oh, cool, we're
part of the fun.
We'll get our Lunchables and then bring them into the park.
Exactly.
And it's like a one experience.
Yeah. And you said you'd been there? I passed
I went
several
there on a
times.
field trip. And then there was like an outside area that was like gift shops and stuff that you didn't have to pay to get in.
Okay,
kind of like Disney Springs.
I don't know what that is.
It's just like, it used to be called Disney Village. Then it was called Downtown Disney. Now it's called Disney Springs.
I know Downtown Disney.
There you go.
You can get your haircut.
It's just like a shopping center, basically, or like a strip mall.
Am I thinking of like Main Street USA?
You're thinking of Main Street USA.
Yeah. Okay.
It's just a strip mall, essentially.
Okay.
But
Chinese
in
tchotchkes.
Disney. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. That's all. Doesn't seem that bad.
It doesn't seem that bad on the surface.
I don't mean, again, I was like 8 when I went. Who the hell knows?
Right. Yeah, maybe you know. Maybe you feel. Are you positive or negative about China?
I'm positive it exists. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they just wanted people to. Maybe I feel like China wasn't doing so hot up until like pretty recently, as far as like a
global power,
like a PR standpoint.
They're still not doing great.
No, they're not doing great. But I mean,
I don't know. I don't know enough to comment really.
Yeah.
Like, not great with human rights. I'm aware. That's all I know, really.
Is that not enough?
And then I
That's
think
not enough.
Well, no, that's true. And then I think that maybe in Hong Kong they drive, in the whole country they drive on the right side of the road, but in Hong Kong they drive on the left side of the road
because they're like a former British colony or something.
Yeah, so then they have like swap over roads.
Yeah,
which are really crazy to see pictures of.
It is really crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a Mario Kart course.
Yeah.
Except like no rainbows or power ups or anything cool. Really,
just a road.
It's like a bridge. It's like Toad's Turnpike.
Yeah.
So I'm not wrong. I feel like there's a lot of weirdly, possibly culturally insensitive theme parks or whatever tourist attractions in Florida specifically.
I mean, Epcot, all of Epcot.
Is that culturally insensitive? I mean,
you can buy a lot of sombreros in the Mexico Pavilion.
But
I don't know.
But like, hold on.
It's not bad that they're there, but it's bad that everyone who's wearing one is like a fat white guy from Wisconsin.
Right. Let me ask you a different question. Is that even a real thing? Sombreros?
Probably
you
not.
Know what I mean?
Nachos aren't, right? Didn't some dude in like Arizona who's just like, yeah, nachos. These are a real thing. And then people are like, yeah, they are. And they're just not at all.
I don't know. That's news to me.
Or, I mean, and the same thing where like...
But yeah, isn't that what you do with sombreros? You fill them with nachos?
Yeah.
You take them to a ballpark?
You fill the outside with... The brim with nachos.
And the inside with cheese?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
And like... Chinese food... like, isn't half of Chinese food that's in Chinese restaurants just made for American... Like,
yeah, it's like if you took like a standard Chinese restaurant and put it in China...
They'd be like, no, this is American food.
Yeah. Which is apparently what they do with Taco Bell in Mexico.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, there's like Blue Moon beer, which is like a Belgian beer. But
sure.
It's a Belgian style. But then in Europe, it's just an American beer.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's really funny.
Blue Moon, typically you would put orange slices in it if you had like a glass of one. When you have a Corona, you put a wedge of lime in it, right?
Yeah.
That's not a thing. You know that?
What do you mean? I mean,
unless I'm speaking out of school, telling tales out of school, which is very likely. You know this to be true. The limes were they didn't have corks or nothing back in the day. So they was like, oh, we got a bunch of limes, cut them shits up, put them in the thing to stop them.
That is definitely a myth perpetrated by Corona.
By Big Lime.
By Big Lime and Corona. There's no way that's true. That makes no sense.
I mean,
They've been bottling alcohol for so much longer than Corona has existed.
No,
I promise you.
No, they didn't have the tech.
God. Just throw a bunch of dirt in the top, I guess. What do you have?
We have
shoes. We have shoes. Shove it. Okay, that's why so many old bottles, the tops are shoe shaped, so you could just fit a shoe right in. Yeah, no, it makes sense.
Look, when I say it, yeah, it sounds crazy, but you gotta cut me some slack.
No, that is definitely 100% a marketing ploy.
I can't wait till this is the one true thing I've ever said on the podcast.
I would hate that.
I know. Are there any other drinks like that you're like, oh, you gotta add this fruit to it? Like, it tastes like crap, you don't add this fruit. Is that a thing with Corona? Is it tastes like crap, you don't add fruit?
Lemonade.
Smell you later.
You're privy to some shit right now.
Yeah, man, I've always wanted to see the process. It's this, but normally we're sitting right on top of each other
in my closet,
in his closet,
sweating.
Yeah.
Thank you for playing Arcade Audio. Play more at arcadeaudio.net.